What's up, fans? Let me know if you can hear me as soon as you get in the chat. This is sporadic. This was nowhere. I thought to myself, I'm going to go live today. I'm going to go live for about half hour, 45 minutes today. Just going to want to talk about the essentially what the name of this video is. What's up, Matt? Can you hear me, Matt? Let me know if you guys can hear me as soon as you get in here. What's up, Luke? What's up, Coop? What's up, Zachary Harris? What's up, Tony? What's up, Cisco? Supreme Junk? What's up? What's up, Art? Let me know if you guys can hear me clear. All right, cool, Roman. What's up, Polly King, Ronnie, Matt? Wow, you guys just popped in. What's up, boys? So let me just, I'm not one for sugarcoating things. I'm not one for like, I'll tell you after the commercial break. Let me just jump right into this real quick. No, the Miami Dolphins are not trading Laremy Tunsil. I wanted to make a video, but then I thought to myself, I'm going live. I'm going live. Screw this. I'm going live because I don't feel like making video editing just to tell you guys, no, Laremy Tunsil is not being traded. And I will tell you everything that is happening right now. This is coming from Barry Jackson. He's not being traded, guys. Like, he's not. He's not. He's not being traded at all. I'm sorry, Stefan. I didn't mean to scare you. He's not being traded. And listen. I'll tell you exactly all the stuff on how he's not being traded. Okay. Barry Jackson said, I received a call earlier this week from a credible person that Tunsil has come up in trade talks without further detail. Pro Football Network reported last night he's being dangled. Dolphins conveyed a Tunsil camp. He is not being shop dangled by teams being called. Message conveyed is intent is not trying to trade him. Now, if Grier gets offered 2 first rounds or something incredible but unlikely, he'll consider it. But that's not the case of the Dolphins wanting to move the player. Teams have inquired. So listen, guys, listen. The Miami Dolphins have gotten people to say, hey, we know that you want, draft picks. We know that you got, okay, got to go. I'll watch later notifications. All right, Richard. We know that you guys want to, get draft picks, and we know that you guys are rebuilding, and we know, what would it take to get Laremy Tunsil? Our team needs a left tackle. Our team is struggling on the offensive line, and we can do some great things, and we can build up this team, and our team is a playoff contending team. We just need a left tackle. What would it take, Chris Grier, for you to give us Laremy Tunsil? Laremy Tunsil's like, Chris Grier's like, what? 2 firsts. Oh, that's kind of steep. All right, well, then get away from me. The Dolphins aren't dangling him. They're not like, hey, who wants Laremy Tunsil? You give us the right price. Well, maybe we'll send you Laremy Tunsil. The Dolphins aren't going out and saying, hey, Laremy Tunsil is up for grabs, all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. Essentially, teams are reaching out to the Miami Dolphins, asking about Laremy Tunsil, and the Miami Dolphins are like, nah, we're good. Well, we'll give you a second and a second next year and a 5th next year. No, we're good. So, again, it came from pro Football Talk, and I don't believe anything unless I hear it from the 6 or 7 beat writers that I follow. So, again, Laremy Tunsil is not being traded. In all honesty, if you want to know the truth about Laremy Tunsil is next in line to get a contract extension. We gave it to Xavier Howard, gave it to Jakeem Grant, then Laremy Tunsil. I watched the game later, and Rosen played well, but is it enough for the starting job? I'll talk about that in a few minutes. I just want to really reiterate, especially for people that are coming in here late, the Dolphins aren't trading Laremy Tunsil. No. It's just it drives me nuts because Mike, you're trade Tunsil and Stills for Zeke. All right, cool. So Mike, we'll trade our best offensive lineman and the most consistent wide receiver on the team right now for a running back who is going to now be running behind an even worse offensive line because Laremy Tunsil's not there. You make no sense, dude. But I don't believe any of this crap. It's just like, who in their right mind would be like, yeah, the Dolphins are going to definitely trade Laremy Tunsil. because, they talked about building through the trenches, and they talked about, building this team up the right way and building an offensive line, but we're going to get rid of the best player. And then especially people who talk about trading for Ezekiel Elliott or trading for Josh Gordon. Not Josh, it's Josh Gordon. I think that's his name. Why in the love of cheese would we trade for a running back when we have Drake Ballage? Mark Walton has been doing really great in preseason. Laird has been doing really great in preseason. Why would we trade for a position that doesn't – Melvin, thank you – doesn't need – we don't need a running back. That'd be like saying Jay Ajayi ran with no O-line. Mike, you are delirious if you think that in 2016 the Miami Dolphins had no offensive line. That offensive line was the reason Jay Ajayi had 3 200-yard games and nothing else besides that. You don't know football if you think that the Dolphins' offensive line in 2016 was bad. I'm sorry. You just don't. You lose a lot of credibility if you think that. Like, come on. That was the unicorn. We called them the unicorn. Everyone said that the O-line stunk. In 2016, everyone said the O-line stunk. Please show me the people that said that, because I'll show you every beat writer that said that was probably one of the best offensive lines we had in 2016. Don't just say everyone said it, because I'll show you all the beat writers I follow who call it the unicorn. Whatever. I'm not going to get bogged down by nonsense. I don't even remember what I was talking about. He kind of threw me off by saying 2016 team had a horrible offensive line. Yeah, that was why Tanny got sacked so much. You're really gonna make me look up stats? Like, come on. In 2016, actually, was probably the year that Tannehill didn't get sacked that much. It was also the best year Ryan Tannehill had, Mike, in 2016. So I'll let you keep thinking that. So you think, Mike, let me make sure I get this right. And then let me make sure I get this right. Your running back has 3 200-yard rushing games, right? He had 1 100-yard rushing game. So in 4 games, he rushes for 700-plus yards. And you're going to tell me that was all on him. There's no lanes opening up. There's no run blocking, nothing. That the offensive line was so bad, it was that he did that all on his own. That literally makes no sense at all. Like, in the least bit. No sense. Let me see if I can find these stats. Because it makes zero sense. Everyone says our O-line has stunk for years. Yes. 2017, 2018. Yes, they have stunk. Not 2016. Chief Bubba, I'm doing good. How are you doing? Like, go look at 2016 and go look at the stats that I'm looking at right now. No, dude. No. Like, I get it. If you say, like, 2017, the offensive line stunk, yeah, of course it stunk. No way, Kiko and Jones, maybe? Yeah, no. Laremy Tunsil, many say Tannehill never had an offensive line. Yeah. Also, many say Tannehill never had an offensive line. He played with the Miami Dolphins for 7 years. I would say 2 out of those 7 years, he had a great offensive line. When he had Richie Incognito at guard, that was a good offensive line. But you can't just say that Ryan Tannehill and the offensive, like, Ryan Tannehill had no pocket presence. So he caused his own sacks by just holding the ball, staring down his receiver, and not doing anything. Spike Gaming, hey, Doug, you're annoyed like me right now. Thank you for the $2 donation. I greatly appreciate it. Just had a panic attack when I saw the video. Yeah, no. Laremy Tunsil's not getting traded at all, in the least bit. No. Laremy Tunsil's not getting traded. If you just go on and follow me on Twitter, you'll see that that I retweeted a ton of things just completely debunking whatever site or whoever said that Laremy Tunsil was getting traded. Because a lot of you guys were hitting me up saying, like, is Laremy Tunsil going to get traded? Is Laremy Tunsil going to get traded? No. There's no way that we would give a trade away our hands down best left tackle. He's going to be our best left tackle forever. Over 300 yards against Pitt, and then both. It was 200. It was like 205, 206. We were 9th ranked in yards, 15th ranked in touchdown, 8th ranked in yards yards average. Like, it makes no sense. Rushing yards, 202 against the Steelers, 256 against the Bills, 261 against the Bills again. We just ran all over the Bills. Like, can't have it both ways. If Ajayi had an offensive line, then Tannehill had an offensive line. Mike, I literally told you that in 2016, Tannehill had his best offensive line, and Tannehill had his best year behind that offensive line. Literally said that. At no point did I say that Ajayi had one and Tannehill didn't. I literally said that, Mike. You're killing me now. You're killing me. It's tough thinking back on how much talent the last couple of head coaches let go. Always trying to fill voids, trade, release talent. We keep treading water. Yeah, 100%. There's a difference between run blocking, pass blocking. Pass blocking was always terrible. Again, I wouldn't say in 2016, because in 2016, when we went on that 6-game winning streak, the passing offense was really, really good. Tannehill wasn't throwing over 300 yards. I'm tired of that shit. He threw over 300 yards against the against the Chargers, and against the 49ers. He threw over 300 yards. Nope, sorry. He didn't throw 300 yards. He did against the Patriots and the Browns. He threw over 300 yards. Tannehill was sacked 29 times, the least in his career, because he had one of the best. He had his best offensive line that year. I'm trying to find how many times he was sacked, but it's just not popping up. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking about it, because it just doesn't make any sense. That year, Tannehill was 19 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 2,995 yards passing. Matt Moore came in. That was only 13 games, too. 8-5 record. But that's completely changed what I wanted to talk about. Laremy Tunsil's not being traded, fellas. Laremy Tunsil is not being traded. Tanny is going to stop talking. Tanner's got to stop talking about him, people. I'm only brought him up because of 2016 and how Mike says that we had the worst offensive line in 2016, but then friggin' he says that Ajayi ran for what, 200-yard games. It makes no sense. Completely contradictory, especially because that was the best year of Tannehill's career, was in 2016 when he actually had an offensive line. Because again, that's how it works. But I'm done talking about it. I'll get back to the title and how I might freak a bunch of people out. Laremy Tunsil's not getting traded, fellas. Laremy Tunsil, Doug, I didn't say we had the worst O-line in 2016. Mike, I'm going to roll back. Let's roll back. Ajayi ran with no O-line, is what you said, Mike. Ajayi ran with no O-line because you're talking about trading Laremy Tunsil for Ezekiel Elliott, which wouldn't make sense because we don't have a good offensive line right now. You said Ajayi ran with no O-line. So what did you mean by we ran with no O-line if you're not saying he had the worst offensive line? Matt, no need for name calling. No need for name calling. Got to stay classy, fellas. Stay classy. So, yeah, Laremy Tunsil's not getting traded. He literally is the next one who's up for getting a contract extension. It would make no sense for can I please answer your comment? Edward Manning. Edward Manning. See if I can find it. Edward Manning. Hey, Doug, is Kenny Jones and Kiko up for the trade? Did you hear anything about that? All right. So if there were, if players were going to get traded, it would have happened by now. I honestly don't think the Dolphins are really going to be trading any players unless they get wowed by some offers, because there are injuries. If you look at Derwin James, his injury, you would think that that would entice the Dolphins to trade one of their players. So if a trade was going to happen, it would have happened by now. But the players that I can possibly see get traded are like Kiko Alonso. Rashad Jones, his contract is huge. So I don't see, even like Kiko Alonso, he has a big contract. I don't know if I'd see them. Raekwon McMillan, as much as I wouldn't want him to get traded, I could see him getting traded. Maybe Kenny Stills, but like Kenny Stills has been he's the most consistent wide receiver on the team right now. Now, I'm not saying he's the most consistent wide receiver overall. Jordan Mills trade, maybe. Jordan Mills is going to retire from football after this year. Absolutely hot garbage. But, you know, Kenny Stills, he's good. And to trade him for, you know, because Preston Williams has had flashes, it doesn't make sense. You want to have some type of veteran leadership on the team. Okay, I thought you were saying we already traded King Tunsil. Who is Mike? No, we haven't traded Laremy Tunsil. We won't trade Laremy Tunsil. There is no trading of Laremy Tunsil. Flores said Stills wasn't playing well, and malcontent. I feel like everything I say is just, you just want to tell me I'm wrong and contradict it. So I'm just gonna keep moving on. So yeah, Kenny Stills. It drives me nuts that, like, especially nowadays when it comes to the media, there's all the clickbaiting, and there's the all the like trying to get people to read and see your stuff. And I thought TD was clickbait god, but Doug clickbaited me so bad I prayed before joining the chat. See, I wanted to say are the Miami Dolphins, but that's why I put the question mark, because no, they're not. They're not trading Laremy Tunsil at all. It just wouldn't make any sense at all to trade Laremy Tunsil. Stills has not been good this year so far per head coach. That's this year, though. That's this year. So then maybe he'll get. No, we are not trading, Magic. We are not trading Laremy Tunsil. Didn't hear what? It's clickbait and headlines that are so polarizing, they start the scrap. Exactly. I'm getting drunk today, Randy. Like, one of you guys hit me up on Twitter saying, is it true that we're going to trade Laremy Tunsil? Because someone said Dolphins are looking to trade Laremy Tunsil, or someone said Dolphins are, you know, putting Laremy Tunsil is on the trade block, or, you know, something like that, where, like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, say, like, people, this is what they should have said. People are contacting Dolphins about trade for Laremy Tunsil, not Laremy Tunsil on the trade block. Laremy Tunsil talked about being traded. Like, that doesn't make any sense. It's all clickbait to get you guys to read their article, or to get you guys to get, like, freak out. Why would you want for, what would you want for a McMillan trade? Nothing less than fourth rounder. Nothing less for fourth round. No trade Tunsil, but we might be trading Kenny. Again, it seems like everyone is on the trading block, but certain people. I saw we did ask about Clowney. Yeah, but that, I think the whole asking about Clowney situation was just like a, what would it take? Because I think I reported about that maybe the last live stream I did, or the last video I did, where the Dolphins literally, the Houston Texans do not have a GM right now. So what the Dolphins did was, like, they asked, like, what do you want? Because you don't have a GM right now. So what do you want? The coach said Stills is not playing well. Fact. Yeah, right now. I'm talking about he has been the most consistent wide receiver on the team right now. So, yeah, for 3 preseason games where he, like, they're not focusing on him because he's a veteran, so he doesn't need to either get the ball or time. Yes, you haven't seen or heard from him because, again, he's the veteran. Like how in week 2, Balaj didn't even play the game because they don't need to see or anything from him. So yeah, Kenny Stills right now has been irrelevant, but training camp, mini camp, OTAs, I was talking about Kenny Stills getting touchdowns. Kenny Stills beating so-and-so. Kenny Stills doing this. So yeah, right now in preseason, he's disappeared because why would he do anything? Because it's preseason. What Clowney going to do for the Dolphins? I like the way the Dolphins defense is right now. I would not trade any of our picks for anybody right now except for offensive linemen. But I wouldn't even trade picks because I want to keep the picks we have. I trade players for offensive linemen. One of you guys asked about McMillan. I like McMillan. I liked McMillan at the end of last year. I think McMillan can do really great things, but the style of offense that we're defense that we're running is very fast paced. So he would be more of a 3-4 run stopping linebacker because he is not good in pass defense at all. Whereas Aguavin and Baker are really great at pass defense. So that's the whole McMillan thing because McMillan, he's slow. So he's a great thumper and he's a great run stopper. But when it comes to, pass defense and when it comes to, that stuff. Because if you notice, a lot of times in the preseason, the Dolphins were running nickel with McMillan and not McMillan, with Aguavin and Baker out there, and they were just destructive. They were all over the field. You guys, like, Aguavin came from the Canadian Football League, where sideline to sideline is way bigger than the NFL, way bigger than the NFL. So he's got that speed to go sideline to sideline in Canadian Football League. So he's got more speed in the NFL. Danny, thank you so much for the $10 donation, dude. I greatly appreciate that. No, Tunsil's not getting traded. I'm gonna have to change the title of this video to "Is Miami Dolphins" because he's not getting traded. He's not. There's no way on God's green earth that they're trading him. Doug, you're a legend. Thanks for the update. I donate if I had money, but what would be your ideal trade? Matt, don't feel like you need to donate because I've actually found out that when you guys don't, like, you can donate if you'd like to. I always appreciate it and it means a lot to me, but YouTube does take a certain percentage of that the donations. So don't feel like you need to donate. The fact that you watch, the fact that you subscribe, the fact that you share the channel, all that stuff is more than enough for me. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. Don't feel like you need to donate. What would be my ideal trade? I would trade for a guard, preferably a right guard or a right tackle. The Dolphins' right side of their offensive line is bad. With Tunsil in there, it's good on passing because Tunsil's strength is pass blocking. His weakness is run blocking. And you could see it because even in that second preseason game where he played, he had time to throw the ball, but he wasn't great on run blocking. And that's where we're struggling, especially, real struggling. Anybody watching the Florida versus Miami game tonight? I would love to watch that. I'm probably gonna watch that later. I'm a Canes fan, so I like the Hurricanes. I'm not in Florida, but I do like the Hurricanes. Trent Williams. I'm hearing Trent Williams. They want a lot for him. They want a late first round pick, and don't be surprised if he potentially goes to the Patriots, which sucks. Trade Stills for a right tackle, right guard. If the Dolphins did that, I would be okay with that, and I'd be happy with that. Create a PayPal. I do have a PayPal. I'll probably put it in the link below. So you guys, like, if you guys do feel like donating, it'll actually go straight to me. Fitz is starting. That's what I'm hearing, Mike. I'm hearing Fitz is leading to be the starter. Rosen had a great game Thursday, though. You can't take that away from him. That he had a great game Thursday. That 99-yard drive was great. He had that one bad pass on second and short that was completely late and out. Title say would instead of is. Okay. I wonder if I could change that right now. Let's see if I can go in there and change it right now while I'm on here. Here we go. Let's see. I'm doing YouTube stuff with my boys. Doug, is YouTube listening to our conversation? I don't know. They're monitoring me. If he were to be traded, what would you like to get for him? 2 first-round picks. That's what I want from him. 2 first-round picks. If I can't trade it yet. I'll change it after I get off because I'm gonna get off in a little bit. If the Dolphins were to trade him, big fat if, because they're not going to trade Laremy Tunsil. 2 first-round picks. If big fat ugly Job of the Hut looking if. They denied trades for him though. Yeah, they did deny trades for him. People have contacted the Dolphins about Tunsil, and they were like, no, not at all. Kevin, there's all these speculations about, are the Dolphins trading Tunsil? No, they're not. Even Barry Jackson said, go follow me on Twitter, guys. I'm almost at 1,000 Twitter followers, so go follow me on Twitter. That no. People have contacted the Dolphins about Tunsil, but the Dolphins have shut it down because it make no sense to build for the future and build up the offensive line and get rid of our best offensive lineman. Big Bite Gaming, thank you so much for the $2 donation. Could McMillan play defensive line? I think he's too small to play defensive line. Twitter is cancer. I've noticed that. No trade McMillan. Howard, I would like to not trade anyone. What's up, Ron? I would like to not trade anyone because we need depth, especially at linebacker. Ginkle hasn't played much because he was injured. Kiko hasn't played much because he's injured. McMillan hasn't played much because he's injured. And supposedly that was going to be your starting 3 linebackers. It was Ginkle, McMillan, Baker, Kiko. Like those were your tops. And then all of a sudden they all got injured. So I wouldn't really want to trade anyone because injuries happen. And, it's like, I know he's too slow, Howard. I agree he's too slow. And then that's why I think he'll be more of a run-stopping linebacker. But I'm going to make a video breaking down who I think is going to be the starters. I don't know if I'll do a full 53, but I'm going to break down like who I think will be the starters. I'm going to have a very hard time with the wide receivers and running backs and who I'd keep because I know for a fact whoever we try to put on practice squad might get scooped up. Like Laird, I'd want Laird to make the team. I want Laird to be a backup fullback behind Cox just so we can keep him on the team and just have the tight ends play tight ends because Laird is a dynamic running back. I don't know, Woken Worship. I don't know. I'd want to keep, obviously, Drake Ballage, Walton, and Laird. And Farrow and Gaskins would be my odd man out. And I would try to get them on the practice squad. Because Laird he's just too good to just try to get him on the practice squad. Because for a fact the Patriots would pick him up and he would just be another Woodhead or Woodhead, I think his name is, and just completely killing us. I want to see Jakeem Grant running a jet sweep for a touchdown against Adam Gase or bubble screen. Scotty Joe Zadig. I will throw a bubble screen to Jakeem Grant for a touchdown. Let's wait and see. Brian Flores might fail. Yeah, any coach might fail. I agree. We finally have depth in the middle. Let's make 82 the starter and trade Parker. Farley Richard. But he's got to be more consistent because he kind of disappeared the last 2 games. Ballage looked very stiff running to me this preseason. Yeah, and he's been dropping a lot of balls. Some of them were thrown behind him, but some weren't, and he's been dropping a lot of balls. Our linebackers are so good. They really are. Most novice head coaches fail. Yeah, Mike, agree. I agree 100%. A lot of first-time head coaches don't do great. But you got to stick with it because, they'll fail and then they'll learn from their mistakes and get better. But then some head coaches they're too stubborn and they won't learn from their mistakes and they continue to fail. I want to see Grant Moss Johnson to showcase how he super effed up and not using Grant. Right, Ron? Question. Think Cam Wake makes the Pro Bowl? Anthony, that's a good question. I don't know. Maybe? But I don't know. That's a very good question. 6-10, too far off prediction. No. Inhaled Crane. No. Not at all. It's around. I have them around there. I have them around the 9-7, 6-10 mark right now. Again, I'm going to do my predictions probably the day before the Bears Packers game. Do you think Marino could be quarterback coach? Mark, I don't know. I don't know what he's like personally, and I don't know if he would want to do that. I don't know. DDW, diehard Miami fan from Jersey. I'm a Miami fanatic from Connecticut, Hartford, New England, grown. Despise the Patriots. Love your videos, bro. Tri-State. What's up, Brandon? Thank you so much for that. Nice comment. 9-7, I'm predicting. Yeah, Matt, that's not there's that swing. In my mindset, when it comes to power rankings, always have us dead last, and I always ignore them because power rankings are made by idiots. There's a swing for me. It's the 6-10, 9-7. There's that 3-game swing for me where our defense could win it, but then our offense could lose it because the defense after these 3 preseason games have completely changed my mind. A lot of you guys were telling me that, I kept saying pass rusher, pass rusher, pass rusher. The first preseason game, I'm like, we have a pass rusher. And I know it's a very vanilla offense and defense, but I was like, pass rusher, we need a pass rusher. And a lot of you guys were like, wait and see, wait and see. And I was like, all right, I'll listen to you guys. Wait and see, wait and see. And then finally, like the Jaguars game, I'm like, wow, this defense is going to be good. Maybe, you guys were right in the whole pass rushing situation. And then that's why a lot of you guys, especially like Mike, it might seem like I got on Mike and like, no, Mike, me and Mike have some really great conversations in the chat section. A lot of you guys will talk to me and chat with me and comment with me, and we'll have discussions where you open my eyes. So a lot of you guys were telling me like, wait and see. And I wait and see, and this defense is going to be really dynamic. The offense is what scares me because the offensive line. So it's like that 3-game swing from 6-10 to 9-7 all depends on how the O-line is doing, and all depends on if the defense can make up for some of the miscues, and then injuries on other teams can happen, and all that stuff. Wake started 2011 Pro Bowl at linebacker. TJ McDonald can't tackle to save his life. If he can't tackle, he don't make the team. What do you think will be the starter this year? They're both really good. Supreme Junk, it's hard. I don't know. For me to pick, it's hard. But yeah, I don't know. I'm trusting Flores and Chad O'Shea. 1066. He's not, again, I'll just reiterate for new guys in the chat. I'm going to change the title of this after I'm done live streaming and I go in and edit. I will change the title because maybe the title was a little misleading. Even with the question mark, Laremy Tunsil's not getting traded. He's not getting traded. Dolphins have been contacted about us potentially getting him, but they're like, no, because we're building around him. Powering got us dead last. Why? Because we got rid of talent, we got a new head coach, and we have a fight between Josh Rosen, who was on a crappy team. What's up, Josh? Last year, and Fitz, who is a journeyman's quarterback. So people think that we're going to suck. So Flores isn't giving the players no break, in my opinion. Well, Van Jan, no pants. First off, love your friggin' name. What do you mean he's not giving players no break? What do you mean by that he's not giving players a break? I just don't understand what you mean by that. I'd love to, do you think they passed Preston with, do you think they passed the Preston against Ramsey was a PI? Why do you think Flo hasn't thrown a challenge flag yet? I think Flores hasn't thrown a challenge flag yet because it's preseason. Like unless it's blatant, he asks upstairs. A lot of head coaches, each team has people upstairs that watch the tape. So essentially something will happen, they already have the tape and they'll watch it like a few times. So they'll in the headset, they'll give a coach, stall for a second, coach. And they'll watch the tape a few times and be like, yeah, challenge that. And they'll throw the challenge. So, Flores might not have thrown the flag because maybe it just wasn't a challengeable, all that jazz. He threw a flag the first game. Yeah, coaches hear it from the upstairs because you can't really see much when you're on level. It could be on the other end of the field. And he's like, well, should I challenge that? What's going on? Should I challenge that? Next player to get re-signed, Baker and Tunsil. Yeah, 100% on Baker and Tunsil. It's going to be Tunsil first. Tunsil's the next one who's going to get re-signed. That was a bad throw by Fitz, if you ask me. Preston Williams beat Jalen Ramsey. You got to reward Preston Williams for beating Jalen Ramsey by getting him that ball and giving him a touchdown. Do you like, did you see how good Gesicki looked? Gesicki looked really well, Ron. He looked really good. He had that pass interference that was just dumb on his part, where he just like threw his arms up and ran into the corner. Like, at least act like you're running the route. But yeah, Gesicki did well, especially when he caught the ball and knocked the wind out of himself. That's what he's there for. He's that receiver who's going to get up and get the ball. Dolphins finally getting clout. Doug, do you think next year is our year? Yeah, I do actually. I think we're going to go to the play. If we don't go to the playoffs this year, we'll go to the playoffs next year. I honestly do. Okay, I just got here. I'm concerned. Someone tell me what's going on. Daniel, I need to, first off, let me apologize to everybody in the chat. Let me apologize to all the new guys in the chat. I should have worded it a little differently. I thought at least putting the question mark would like bring it up like it's a question. I'm going to reword it. I do apologize to you, Daniel, and to everyone else that I might have given a heart attack. I am truly sorry. We're not trading Laremy Tunsil. I'm going to change the title of this because it is very, I didn't think it was misleading, but the more I'm thinking about it, it's very misleading. So I do apologize to you guys. We're not trading Laremy Tunsil. Teams have reached out to Laremy Tunsil, to the Miami Dolphins about Laremy Tunsil, and the Dolphins have told them to go kick rocks because, why would we trade him? Mike, it's not necessarily, I didn't try to clickbait people. That's why I put the question mark. It's more of a question, but I'll change it because, it could come off that way, and I do apologize for that. I hope Rosen does not start. Let Fitz start for as long as we can and have the offense line come together before we get him killed. That's a good way of looking at it, Sammy. That's a good way of looking at it. Magic, you're a clickbaiter. I actually pride myself on not being a clickbaiter. I try to, in the title, tell you pretty much what I'm going to talk about. I try my best to, like, in the title, because I only have, with YouTube, you only have a certain amount of characters in the title. I try to tell you as much to, like, okay, let's see what's going on in the video. So I try my best not to clickbait. What do you think we should do to fix the O-line? Right tackle, right guard. But with Dieter and Calhoun, they're still young, so they can build up and they can be better. I honestly think right now we need a right tackle. We desperately need a right tackle. Schrader's out there, and he's not a bad right tackle. I would probably pick him up. I don't know why the Dolphins haven't picked him up. I have no water. I literally, off the top of my head, was like, I'm going to go live for 45 minutes. So I'm not prepared at all. Desperately need a quarterback. We'll see how Rosen does, but Mike, I'm not disagreeing with you on that. I like Rosen. You guys have heard me talk about Rosen having pocket presence, Rosen still being a second-year guy, giving him time to develop. But I'm in the mindset of if we let Tannehill walk because he was average. Tannehill is not a bad quarterback. He's not a great quarterback. He's an average quarterback. There's no need to bring in another quarterback who's also going to be average. I'm tired of average. I want that quarterback. I want the Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Ben Roethlisberger, friggin' whoever else you can think of that is going to lift the team up. So if Rosen is that average quarterback again, and it's another 5-6 years of us, well, next year he'll be good. Next year he'll be good. Next year he'll be good. Then I'm not. No, I'm not. I almost ran off the road. Now I'm getting tickets for this driving skill. I'm sorry, J.R. Williams. Like I said, I'm going to change the title. I didn't think the title was that clickbaity, but apparently it is, and I do apologize for it. Get off your phone on the road anyway. It's 3-year rebuild, people. Do you think the Dolphins will trade for Clowney? I don't think they'll trade picks. Maybe they'll trade players, but I don't think they'll trade picks. But also, you got to realize, too, that then we're going to have to pay him. And it's going to cost a lot of money to pay him. Giants trade a third for Kenny Stills. No, they didn't. I'll look it up, but I don't think they did. I'm looking it up now. And Muzz, if you're lying to me, Muzz, which you are lying to me, I don't want Clowney. He's overrated. They are not going 4-12, though, and not tanking. No, they're not tanking. Don't we have a ton of cap space? We have about 90 to 100 million, maybe a little less. And then with Rashad Jones and Kiko and maybe some other players being either cut or traded. Thank you, Freights. I really do appreciate that. Probably about 100 million. But so Mike, yeah, you make a valid point. We could resign him next year. I guess it all depends. For me, it depends on what they give up if they do want to go for Jadeveon Clowney. They go and do Dallas Cowboys on the line next year. Yeah, DJ Swagger. They're going to try to build these trenches up. They need to build the offensive line up. They need to go after as many offensive linemen as possible. Build that sucker up. Miami or Florida? I'm going Miami. When Tannehill got here when he was 25. Yeah, he was not that young when he got here, Tannehill. But certain players have ups and downs. And some players, their downs or their faults you can fix, and some you can't. So you like with Rosen, right? I'm giving Rosen 3 years. That's what I'm giving with Rosen. I'm going to give Rosen 3 years. And if he's still doing the same thing after 3 years, and if he hasn't progressed after 3 years, we got to move on. That doesn't mean just because I'm giving Rosen 3 years that I'm still not drafting quarterbacks, because that would be stupid to just stick with one guy. Why you give Rosen 3 years? Because you got to give a guy time. Hunter, all right, I'm going to allow this because you censored yourself. What are you talking about, Hunter? He's a blank blank. He cuts everyone in line at Publix. Who? What happened? Chris Foster. Oh, left myself. They gave Tannehill 7. Exactly. And 7 was too long. You know how many good quarterbacks we passed up on because we stuck with Tannehill for that long? Again, not saying Tannehill's not a good quarterback, but come on. Get him help, then we see. Again, Armed Ape, I agree, but I'm tired of having a quarterback that needs to have everything around him to make him better. I want the quarterback to make everything around him better. You know what I'm saying? The O-line has sucked forever, it seems. 2016, it was a good year. 2008, those are the 2 years we had a very good offensive line. I've never seen a worse quarterback straight 7 years. That's a little overstretched. I've seen worse quarterbacks. For 7 years. Brian Hoyer, worst quarterback. Brock Osweiler, worst quarterback. Who are your top 3 players in Miami Dolphins history? Dan Marino, Jason Taylor. Oh, that third one's a hard one. I'm just going to say, I'll give you 2. Dan Marino and starting quarterbacks. I can give you some more starting quarterbacks that are worse. Some of them aren't even. Matt Leinart is a worse quarterback. He's not in the league anymore. Vince Young is a worse quarterback. He's not in the league anymore. I can give you some worse quarterbacks than Ryan Tannehill, who's still in the league and can be a potential starter for the Tennessee Titans. I love how Rosen raised the energy level when he came in. 100%, Alfonso. Rosen has things that are really great about him. His pocket presence is amazing. The fact that he threw that pass to Isaiah Ford with a linebacker about to kill him, great. Doug, they didn't start for 7 years. Yeah, Mike, but you can't blame Tannehill for starting for 7 years when the coaches started him for 7 years. Chat rolling today. It definitely is. Got 183 in here. I only got 51 likes. What's going on? What's going on, fellas? Public subs are ish. You guys are talking about the craziest things. So I came in and we are trading tons. No, Ryan, we're not. We are not. I got to change the title. I put a question mark because I was like, are they? That's what I should have put. So I'm going to change the title. I'm going to put like, would Miami Dolphins. One of you guys asked me, right? I blame the coaches in order for keep it down. Yeah, Mike. But again, you can't blame Tannehill for that. Tannehill's not a bad quarterback. Everyone likes to say Tannehill sucks. Tannehill's shit. He's not, though, because then the Tennessee Titans would have traded for him. No, we're not trading Tunsil. We are not. Yes, Tannehill's better than Mariota. He might be. Mariota gets injured way too easily. Tannehill will be playing this year for the Tennessee Titans. You glad we didn't suck for luck? I don't like to like harp on the past, because if we're going to harp on the past, there's worse things that we could have done. Players that we, passed on. Passed on exactly. I'm not going to harp on the past. So one of you guys tricked me into talking about Tannehill, and I always say that I don't want to talk about Tannehill, but one of you guys freaking talked about Tannehill. Just bumped in, heard we are going to try to get Clowney. With the whole Clowney situation, right? It's not that we are going to get Clowney. It's the same thing. All right, with the Tunsil, Trent Williams, Clowney situation, right? With the Clowney situation, the Houston Texans don't have a general manager. So essentially what the Dolphins are doing is like seeing what they can get. All right, well, what do you want for Jadeveon Clowney? Like, would you take this guy? Would you take a sixth, a fifth? Like, what do you want? Because they don't have a GM. So they're trying to it's like, this is going to sound bad. It's like walking into the store and the owner's like, hey, I'm going to step out for a few hours. And there's no one in the store. And you're like, what? Leave. Like, I have cameras, so put whatever amount of money you want on the register. Grab what you want, put whatever money you want on the register. So you're just like, all right, I'm going to take this. I'm going to give you about $5. You don't have an owner here to say no, so all right. So that's what the Dolphins are trying to do. Like, you don't have a GM. What do you want for Clowney? And they might be like, oh, we want a first. And the Dolphins are like, get out of here. No, we don't want a first. We're not going to give you a first. Or we want this guy. No. So that's the whole thing. But then that's the flip with Laremy Tunsil. There's the whole thing out there where they're talking about Laremy Tunsil and, the Dolphins trading for Laremy Tunsil. Is Laremy Tunsil on the trade block? No, they're not on the trade block. Laremy Tunsil's not on the trade block. Essentially, people are contacting the Dolphins to see who, like, what would you want from us for Laremy Tunsil? And the Dolphins are like, 2 firsts. And then they're like, no. And the Dolphins are like, all right, then we're not trading him. He's not on the trade block. I don't know why you're calling us. Let's move on. Don't tell me what to do. You move on. Well, then give me a topic. What do you guys want to talk about? You guys got about 15 minutes. How long do you think Ryan Fitzpatrick will play this year? Probably about 4 or 5 games. We're so lucky we got Rosen for cheap. We almost had Fitz as our starter for the season, and we got Rosen for cheap too. Yeah, Joe, we got Rosen for nothing. I'll talk about the Ravens. Cam Wake is old. Yes, he is. Can we trade Tunsil for Mahomes? That's no. No, because then your offensive line got worse. And we're not trading Tunsil. I'm not trading Tunsil for anything. It would be a bad idea to trade him. Exactly. Jesse Davis needs to sit down or get cut. His play was putrid. His play was bad on Thursday. O-line fixes 2 new guard, and a right tackle. I would say right tackle, I kind of have high hopes for Dieter and Calhoun. It's the right tackle that really worries me. You wouldn't trade Tunsil for Mahomes? No, I wouldn't trade Tunsil for Mahomes. It might sound stupid to you. It might sound stupid to a lot of people, but you're going to bring – so in this hypothetical world where what's up, Bulldog Irish, where the Chiefs want Tunsil and they'll give us Mahomes, right? Because eventually Mahomes is going to want a big contract. Let's just play off of that. No, he's not getting traded. You're going to put Mahomes behind an offensive line that is worse now without Tunsil. So he's not going to do as well. So then all of a sudden we're struggling. So trade Jesse Davis. Who would want Jesse Davis, Chief Bubba? He's struggling. He needs to go back to right guard and maybe put Isaiah Prince at right tackle. But I don't even know if Isaiah Prince is ready. Sam McGuavin has replied to me. It'll be lit if you talk to him. I'm going to hit him up on Twitter and see if I can get an interview with him on the channel. I would love to, if they have a few days off, be like, can I talk to you for 15 minutes on Skype? Get him on the channel. I would love to get him on the channel. You guys got 10 minutes. You got me for 10 more minutes. Fire away. Let's do a little quick Q&A section. Fire away. 10 minutes, you got me. Let's go. Dougie, from what I saw, Prince has done all right at right tackle. Yeah. What O-lineman is available and are decent? I'd put Schrader at right tackle. Wouldn't cost him much. Do you think Josh Rosen and Fitzmagic are an example? 1 and 2 quarter, Fitzmagic 3. No, they're not going to split them up. That wouldn't make sense. Mr. DouglieDoWrong, I can't hear what's going on. Please, someone tell me we are not trading. Chat, someone. Shane, turn your volume up, dude. Shane, we are not trading Laremy Tunsil. I'd say Dieter is a Band-Aid, not our future. Yeah. Is Parker done or what? I don't know. The fact that he got injured again doesn't bode well for him. Yeah, I gave you 5 topics, bro. Ron, give me another one because I'm not scrolling up. Schrader would be solid. Do you think Kenny Stills is gone? Depends on what we can get for him. Trade Albert Wilson for O-line help. I don't want to do that. He's too dynamic of a player. Who starts opposite of Xavier Howard? I liked Eric Rowe. So I would probably put Eric Rowe there. He did struggle a little bit, but he did do well, and he's comfortable in this defense. He's run it before. Do you think Rosen is the answer for the future? Possibly. I'll give you that. I'm not going to say yes or no. Possibly. I got to see more out of him. Is Kiko going to sit on the bench? No. He'll be interchanged. You got to keep the linebackers fresh. I don't think Rosen ever had much of a chance to win the job. Every time Rosen does good for us, undermines it. He really wants him to sit. I think what it is we see one thing and he sees everything. So we're going off of the one good thing, whereas he sees everything and he sees some of the struggle. What do you think about ramming the wide receiver? I don't think he's making the team because he was doing really bad at kick return, especially putting Rosen on the 1 yard line. You let that ball bounce into the end zone. Who would trade us right? Who would trade us a right tackle and what could we trade? Adam, it's a good question. I don't know. Because Trent Williams is a left tackle, so we'd have to ask him to play right tackle, and then we'd be paying a right tackle more than we'd be paying our left tackle. So Trent Williams just doesn't make sense. Do they cut Bobby McCain? No, he had one bad play Thursday. I don't think they cut Bobby McCain. Would you trade Kenny Stills to the Chargers for Forrest Lamp? Do the Chargers need a wide receiver? Look at the team that I would look at as a potential trade partner at wide receiver is the Giants and the Seahawks. Seahawks lost DK Metcalf, and they lost another wide receiver. So look at the Seahawks. See who the Seahawks potentially would want to trade. Trevor says he doesn't like playing right tackle. Exactly, Chief Bubba. So that trade, we're not going to trade for him. When do we part with Kiko? Best value in the league versus best use to the team? Whenever if someone gives us the best offer and you think, all right, that's the best we can get for him instead of just cutting him from nothing, yeah, pull the trigger. I think they are using reverse psychology on Rosen to motivate him. Rosen has a seamlessly flat effect, and they're trying to simulate and motivate him to be great. He can't be handed the job. Of course, no one on this team is being handed the job. Bro, I saw on Instagram like multiple posts about us potentially picking up Clowney. I don't buy until I saw so many posts. Last time I saw that many, that was when we actually grabbed Rosen. It all Bulldog Irish. It depends on what they want. I don't see us trading picks. Shouldn't TJ McDonald play linebacker? He is Anthony 911. In this type of defense, he would be at even in the depth chart. He's kind of listed as a linebacker. How old is Clowney? I think he's like 25, 26. Clowney is 26. Don't let this distract you from the fact that the Seahawks didn't run the ball. I hate that they didn't run the ball. If you had a chance to interview one Dolphin player, who would you pick? Mr. 305 for real channel, all time or right now? Gotta be a little bit more specific because right now I would like to interview Sam McLaughlin. I got to interview Richmond Webb, which is really cool. Our linebackers are underrated 100%. Would you trade McCain for an O-line, like a right tackle, left tackle, or would you trade McCain and Mika Fitz for Stephen Gilmore or something like that? I wouldn't trade Fitz. McCain, it depends. I missed if you would take the trade for Lamp. No, I don't think so. I don't think they would do the trade either, the Chargers, because they don't need a wide receiver. Should trade Ryan Fitz to the Bucs for a fourth because their backup is injured and Dolphins play Rosen week 1. I'm late. We traded Tunsil? No, Daniel. I got to change the title. You guys got me for another 6 minutes, and then I got to go change the title of the video. How would you feel if the Skins traded for Tunsil? I'd be very upset. But why would they get rid of one left tackle to get another? Rosen can't beat out Fitz. I don't think it's that he can't beat out Fitz because he performed better than him against the Chargers. Parker's done with the team. Yeah, I got to see about this injury because if he's injured again and he's hobbled, get him out of here. Let's hit the like button, guys. Doug, over 100, please. Yeah, give me the 100 likes for Ron. That wasn't this year that wasn't the year he got sacked. I don't know if you guys are asking me a question. Will the coaching staff only call screenplays like the past years? 2011, no. And I'm very happy about that. We have a fullback in Cox that can block 4 friggin' dudes. Follow me on Twitter if you haven't seen that. I retweeted. Cox, the fullback, blocked 4 Jaguars. 4 of them. We're going to be running the ball a lot, fellas. We are. Would you trade anyone for the Redskins left tackle? Muzz, no. Because he plays left tackle. He won't play right tackle. And then we'd be paying him right tackle money to play left tackle money to play right tackle. Or we'd have to move. It's just a whole conundrum that, no, they don't. What is this Tannehill trade about? We just re-signed him, WF. Patrick, we haven't re-signed Tunsil yet. And it's just rumors from stupid people who don't know anything. Essentially, again, just real quick, that the people are contacting the Dolphins about Tunsil, but Tunsil's not on the trading block, nor are the Dolphins like even entertaining the calls. Older players and newer players. Oh, both. New players, Aguavin. Older players, Dan Marino. Are we going to fix the right side of the line? I hope so. If not, they're going to get killed. How old is Kiko? I don't know, guys. You guys have Google. Kiko is 29. Who in the hell is going to let alone give up a pick for Fitzpatrick? Come on, man. Trade Tunsil for 2 first rounders. If someone is willing to give the Miami Dolphins 2 first rounders for Laremy Tunsil, I think that is the only time that Chris Greer would stop and talk to them. And I'm not saying I'm not saying do it. I'm not saying I want it to be done, but that's the only time that a trade talk with Tunsil will be entertained. As of right now, nothing's being entertained. People are just asking, and the Dolphins are saying he's not on the trade block. No. Phone call, no. So it's just people want you to read their articles. So they're putting these titles to get you to read their articles. Again, I'm changing my title because I didn't mean for it to be as clickbaity as it is. Do you think Nate Orchard will make the team? Or what do you think of his performance? I think the defensive ends have Orchard led better. Charles Harris, especially, have been doing really well, especially against the Bucs and especially against the Jaguars. So, answer my Baker question, darn it. Answer it again because I don't feel like scrolling up. Big Bite Gaming. Hurry up. Type it right now and I'll answer it. We should trade Wilkins. Farley Richard. I say Dolphins trade Kiko to the Giants for Chad Wheeler, right tackle on the 7th. That's not bad. Chris Lamone's defensive back, great gunner. Great gunner. And Armstrong, great gunner. Spec by Gaming. Ask the question again so I can answer it. You're really going to make me scroll up. Tunsil is better than Williams. Doug, what up, my boy? Jacob from Miami. Love the way the defense been playing this season. What's up, vendor? Jacob. Miami Dolphins are the youngest team in the NFL, I believe. Are we expected to be much younger? We are one of the youngest team in the NFL. I know I'm asking a lot. 13-3. 13-3 is huge. If they do that, it would be big, but I don't know. My question was, would you trade your wife for an interview with Dan Marino? Because I sure would. Well, I don't have a wife, so yeah, sure. I'll trade my imaginary wife for an interview with Dan Marino. Would you trade Omar Kelly for a bag of chips? Larry, is a nice surprise. He was great. He really was great. I say Dolphins go 7-9. Like I said, 10-6, 9-7, 6-10 is where I'm at right now. It could go either way. But yeah, just wanted to make a go live real quick, talk to you guys, see how you guys are doing. I'm going to change the title because I wrote it again. I only have a certain amount of space to write it, but I didn't want it to be as clickbaity as might have came off, so I'm going to change the title so it doesn't seem so clickbaity. But it was fun hanging out with you guys. Again, I just want to reiterate the Dolphins aren't trading Laremy Tunsil. They have no interest in trading Laremy Tunsil. He's not on the trading block. Essentially, teams are contacting the Dolphins, and the Dolphins aren't even entertaining it. So if you're hearing anything about Dolphins trading Laremy Tunsil, don't believe it. It's just BS. But it's cool hanging out with you guys. I don't ever really go live this early in the morning, so it was great to hang out with you guys. I got videos coming out Monday and possibly tomorrow. Maybe some more Brian Flores stuff. Gators are playing the Canes tonight. Let's go Canes, baby. I'm a U fan. Let's go Canes. But other than that, love talking to you guys. Love having conversations with you guys. So great to talk to you guys. To everyone who donated, thank you. I'm going to be setting up a PayPal. So if you guys want to donate, it'll go straight to me because, again, YouTube takes out a certain percentage. But I hope you guys have a great Saturday. Watch the football game tonight. Other than that, get this sucker to 100 likes before I get off here. I need 3 more of you guys to hit that like button. And let's get this to 100 likes before I sign off. But like usual, guys, stay classy. I'll see you guys probably tomorrow and Monday. I'm going to make a lot of videos for you guys. I love making videos for you guys. You guys broke 101 likes. Thank you so much. I love all of you guys. You guys mean the world to me. Like usual, stay classy. Sorry about the clickbait. I didn't mean to clickbait you guys, and fins up.